Hello, everyone. Oh my God. I'm so excited because, welcome to 2025. Yes, I'm really excited about 2025 because personally, I feel like 2025 is going to be a great year for me. I just know that this is the year. This is the year where, like, things begin to happen. I begin to see results of all the seeds that I've planted, and I begin to plant new seeds. I mean, whew, guys, welcome to 2025. And today, the first day of January 2025, I am recording a new podcast. And today, we're going to be doing a book review, sure. But let me tell you something about today's book review. We're going to be taking a totally different approach, right? We're not doing the regular book review. No, we're going to be talking about a theme in the book, a major theme in the book that I was like, you know what? We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this separately from the entire book. And today, we're going to be talking about sugar daddies. Yes, you heard me. So buckle up. Olivia Susie Reed is talking about sugar daddies today. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yep. Let's talk about sugar daddies. So I'm going to be like I said, it's a book. It's called The God of Goodreads by Breanne Mc Ivor. She's a Trinidad and Tobago author. So this book is set in Trinidad and Tobago, and the author is called Breanne Mc Ivor, and the title of the book is The God of Goodreads. Now we're going to be focusing on three major characters in this book, which played out the theme that we're going to be focusing on today. So we have Bianca Bridge, we have Alexandra, and then we have Eric Hugo, right? So Bianca is a young girl. I think she's 21. She was 21 years old when she met Eric Hugo. So Eric Hugo is a minister. He's a minister of development, something like that, in Trinidad and Tobago. And she met him at a coffee shop, and they started having an affair. Now, after a while, their affair got public, and of course, society shunned her, shamed her, and she was basically thrown aside, cast aside by society. She lost her job, lost a means of livelihood. She had to rely on being a model. So basically, she had to rely on her body because, that's the work people were willing to give her. They were like, "Oh my God, we saw you in this yellow tongue or this yellow bikini with the minister. It was plastered all over you. So, if you can do it, you might as well make money from it." And she wanted to be a writer, but that was not going to happen for her again because she lost all her freelance gig. Nobody wanted to hire her. The minister's wife was actually threatening people. So actively threatening people who wanted to hire her or have anything to do with her. So she had to become a model. And you know what happened to the minister? Your guess is as good as mine. Nothing happened to this minister. Nothing happened to this minister. Whereas she lost a means of livelihood. She was shunned from society. Just a lot of terrible things that I would say, would happen when you play those kind of games. And the funny thing, it's not just the reality in Africa. It's actually the reality of women all over the world. Even in the Western world, you would think that, the West, they're advanced, they don't care about these things. My darling, you will be ostracized from civil society, especially when there's a sex scandal like this. And do you know what happens to the man? Nothing. Some people even give him a pet on his back. They're like, "Oh, you were banging that chick, that young girl, well done." But you be the home wrecker, you be the home breaker, you be morally corrupt, you'll be called all sort of names for something that happen between two consenting adults. Now, today's topic actually is the exploitative relationships. We're doing sugar daddies and sugar babes. Like, is it exploitative or is it mutually beneficial? So, is it like an exploitative relationship or is it a mutually beneficial arrangement? That is what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I'm going to be giving my point of view, what I think, especially in relating to the book. So I'm going to be analyzing what happened in the book as opposed to, and even give some, life examples on how this sort of things go down. And, you think about it. Let me know if you think that sugar daddies, those sort of relationships are exploitative, or do you think they are mutually beneficial arrangements? So, who is a sugar daddy? Let's talk about it, or the concept of sugaring. So, a sugar daddy or sugar mommy or sugaring is basically a relationship where an older man, a more financially stable older man, you're in a relationship with an older man who is more financially empowered than you are, and that person gives you benefits and you also give them benefits. And what's the benefits? Basically, it's companionship and sex. For some people, it's just companionship. For some people, it's companionship and sex. And for some people, it's just, it's just sex. So, yes, that's it. So, the sugar baby, the role of a sugar baby, or the motivation, why would you want to be a sugar baby, is because you need money. You need a lifestyle that you cannot afford based on your salary. You cannot afford it, but there is a man who can afford to give you that lifestyle, who can afford to give you access to that lifestyle. And all you have to do is give him some sugar, which is sex, or your time, your company, that sort of thing. So I can see how that is attractive. Yes, it is a very attractive relationship. A man comes up to you and say, "Hey, I really like you. I want you to be my girlfriend." They have wives. Some of them don't have wives. Some of them are divorced. But it is always an older guy. And what you do have to benefit from this is that you get money out of it. You get access to a lifestyle that you would normally not be able to provide for yourself. So I can see how that's attractive. Some of them can buy you cars, travel. You get this comfort that your 9-to-5 cannot give to you, that your parents cannot give to you, that where you're currently at, you cannot get it. So when they approach you with this sort of arrangement, you're like, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? For some people, they'll be like, oh, is it not sex? I'm giving sex to my boyfriend for free. So how about I give it to someone else who is willing and able to give me a good time? I give him a good time, he gives me a good time. It seems mutually beneficial. Rub my back, I rub your back, that sort of thing. So yeah, you may be like, okay, I'll do it, Yeah. So that kind of arrangements, two people willingly, with clear expectations. Obviously, he's expecting that you give him a good time, that you guys are able to explore a lot of things in the bedroom, especially sexually, things that his wife would ordinarily not do, or be able to do, or be willing to do, things that he would not ever be willing to bring up to his wife. I was talking to someone the other day, an older guy, an older gentleman, and we're talking about women touching themselves. And he said, he's never experienced that before in his life, and he would pay anything to watch a woman touch herself. And I was like, okay, you've been married for how long? So your wife has never touched herself, like in front of you? I said, no. And I said, okay, but have you asked? Have you told her, this is something you desire and you want it? And he said, oh no, his wife is like super straightforward. It's even having sex, like, because they have kids, so of course they've they've had to fuck to have kids. So even doing that is a chore, like, and I was like, okay, I don't know why you're telling me this. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't know why you're telling me this, but I'm not the one. I'm not the one to do that for you. I'm not the one to help that fantasy come true. Now, if I were willing, imagine that I was willing to be the girl who makes his fantasy come through. I mean, that could start an affair. And, he said he was willing to pay anything. So I could say, okay, pay me so and so. And then I'll give you that experience. And, it could be something that would reoccur all the time. And before you know what's happening, the full-blown affair. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these men come into it with expectations that, I want company, I want someone to travel with when I go on business trips, I want this, I want that. And of course, you too, you have to have expectations, because you're not going in for, he's so handsome, he's so cute. You can get a younger guy for that. Listen to me. You can get a younger guy for that. I hope you're not going into these sort of arrangements because he's so, like, of course it's good for him to be cute, but there has to be some sugar in it for you. Very important. There has to be some sugar in it for you. So so that sort of thing could happen to you, and you could decide, you know what? Yeah. So the benefits, the benefits of being a sugar babe, there's of course the financial support. You're able to afford things that you ordinarily would not be able to afford. You can start up a new business for you. You could buy you cars. Just give you a lifestyle. You have access to a lifestyle that you would ordinarily never have access to. So, there's a financial support that's there. And then there's a mentorship. A lot of these men are older men, successful businessmen. They can give you access to business advice, business grants, just give you that mentorship that you ordinarily would not have access to. They can show you how, although a lot of people will not, be willing to show you how to make, how they made their money, but there could be a means. You could say, I want to do this in this area, I want to do that in this area, and they'll be willing to help you. You know what I'm saying? And there's also, companionship. Although for the babe, for the sugar babe, the companionship might not be it, because you would have your younger friends or your boyfriends or that sort of thing that will give you companionship. But do you know the funny thing? In this book, in The God of Good Looks, the reason why Bianca decided to get into a relationship with Eric Hugo was because of companionship. She was lonely. She had no friends. She and her dad had like an estranged relationship. He had like a new family, so he wasn't paying attention to her. They had not talked since she, got into uni and came back. So what I'm saying that even for the younger woman, for the younger woman, you might want to be a sugar babe based on companionship. You might be lonely. You might want a friend, and that person could be your friend too. So companionship goes both ways. It could be for the man, it's companionship. It could also be you, the younger woman, you also need companionship. So there are lots of reasons why people go into this sort of arrangement. So, and the crazy ass thing, Bianca did not know that Eric Hugo was married, which I think shows us how naive she is. Because honey, listen to me. Oh my God, you can know that a man is married by just looking at him. Because this is a minister. Like, she didn't know who he was until later on when they were already in the relationship, and then she knew who he was. But that didn't stop. They continued, because of course he's gonna tell you, my wife is a terrible person, my wife does not give me attention, which is all bullshit, by the way. All lies. which if it's something that you want to believe, if it's something that you want to believe to make yourself feel better, that I'm with this man because his wife does not even care about him. So stop deceiving yourself, okay? I need you. This is year 2025. If you're gonna do something, do it with your eyes wide open. Do not deceive yourself. The most dangerous kind of deceit is self-deceit, okay? So open your eyes and tell yourself the truth. You're doing this because of the benefits. You're not doing it because, oh my God, his wife is not your fucking business. Sugar babe 101. His wife is not your fucking business, because it's all lies. So if you want to actually go into this, you want to do this, don't deceive yourself and say, oh, he's so lonely. He has age mates he can play with. Okay? Let's get that straight. Now, immediately. Don't believe the wife angle. Men are always looking for pity. And it's such a turn off to me when I meet someone and we're having a conversation and I can see they like me, they want to get to know me better. The moment you start back, just start talking shit about your wife, I think you're a terrible person. Automatically. That's the first sign that you're an idiot. And I cannot trust you. What the fuck do you mean? You're talking shit about your wife because you want pussy? Stand the fuck up. And now I don't like you. Now I don't want to get to know you better immediately, because I don't want to hear that bullshit. Okay? I don't want to hear. It's not going to make me pity you. So Bianca, believed that his wife was the problem and that he was going to leave his wife, even when the story came out and everybody was insulting her in the blogs, just trashing her out. She was pitying him. She was like, oh my God, I wonder how Eric is feeling, because she loved this man. She loved this man. And she was like, oh my God, I wonder how Eric is feeling right now. He had like a whole conference where his wife was standing beside him, and they had to show a united front, and he's such a man with family values, and a Jezebel is trying to break his home, and she was pitying him. She was like, oh my God, he has to do this. He loves me, he doesn't love her. He's doing this for his political career. One thing about men, if a man wants to leave his wife, he will do it. Men go after what they want with so much force, so much desire, so much passion. If a man says, I am tired of this woman, it is over today, there is nothing that will stop him. So if he's still with his wife, honey, he is there. No, stop lying to yourself, okay? If he's still with his wife, he's still with his wife. She's his wife. He's not gonna leave her for you. I'm tired of you all deceiving yourselves. So focus on your focus. Focus on what you want to get out of this and get it. Don't get distracted by emotional shit. Okay? Good. So Bianca was really, 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 really emotionally entwined with this man. She loved him. And I think she had daddy issues. Bianca definitely had daddy issues. And you know what is ironic? Now that I think about it, Bianca did not like her father. One of the reasons why she did not like her father, one of the reasons why they had an estranged relationship, was because he cheated on her mom when her mom was sick. Her mom had cancer and she died from cancer. And during the whole sickness, during that, he wasn't really there for the mom. And he was cheating. Bianca found out that he was cheating. And he married the new woman. Immediately the mom died. Now, Bianca, being in that shoe, you've been in that shoe where you're seeing that your dad is cheating on your mom. Did you not ever pause to think, how does Eric Hugo's wife feel? Like, why do you think he's not a problem? Why? I mean, I don't know why she never thought about that. Why she never thought, what if this was my mom? What if this was my mom? You see? Because society doesn't just start by blaming you. You start by blaming the other woman. Because now Eric Hugo is not the problem. You're saying his wife is the problem. What if it's the same thing your father was telling that other woman? Oh, my wife, she's annoying me. She knows she's sick. I'm tired. And she'll be beating him, dating him, doing that. I feel. Think about it. So what I'm saying is, if you want to be a sugar babe, don't be like Bianca. Don't get emotionally entwined into this, because there is no benefits when you are emotionally involved. To the man, you're just a means to an end. You're just companionship. So, yeah. So now there are, other parts of the sugar baby, sugar daddy relationships that people do not tell you. A lot of people, I see it all the time on TikTok. How to be a sugar babe, how to be a this, how to do this, how to attract a high value man, how to do this. Oh my fucking God. In 2025, let's all get jobs. Please. Let's find something to do. Let's all find something to do. If you want to be a sex worker and you've decided, oh, I want to be a sex worker, or I want to do this, fine. But I need you to stop deceiving yourself into thinking, oh, there's no down part to it. There is the down part to every fucking job. I'm a customer success manager, and there is a down part to that job. So to everything, there is a downside. So every single thing, there is a downside. Even loving Jesus, even giving your life to Jesus, honey, there's a down part to it, because he said you will be persecuted and hated by the world. So what do you mean by there's no downside to being a sugar babe? They're lying to you. Wake up. Now, I'm going to start with the book. If you are outed, if it gets out that, oh, she's sleeping with a married man for money, or she's sleeping with this for money, because that's how they're gonna frame it. Nobody's gonna care about the fact that you guys had a connection. It was an instant, beautiful connection. You saw him and you were like, yes, this is nobody gives a fuck about that. What they're gonna say is, you're sleeping with this married man for money. So when you're outed, society is not fair to women. So have this at the back of your mind. You're a woman, already society does not like you. Already society does not treat you fairly. So society will forgive that man. He will move on with his family. His wife will stand beside him and say it was the devil. You are the devil, by the way, in case you were not aware. You are the devil. Tempting a married man, a good man. So you are the devil. So they're going to stand beside each other and say, oh, it was the devil's handwork. You, the devil, seduced him. Meanwhile, half of the time, nobody is doing the seducing. It is the man chasing. Has a man chased you before? Hey, God. Woo! Has a man chased you before? And they will lie and say, oh, it was the devil. Satan did this, Satan did that. And then everybody, no matter how high profile that man is, society, even if he's a pastor, what are you saying? We don't know. We've seen pastor being outed for having sugar babes, for even raping people, and they've lost nothing. But you know who has lost? You who came out to say, oh, this happened to me. Even in cases of molestation, the man comes out unscathed. Nothing happens to him. His money is safe. His profile is safe. He's safe. But you, everybody begins to look at you like you're dirt. Already as a woman, they look at you as if you're dirt. Now, home wrecker. Both women, men, everybody, useless men begin to approach you because they think, oh, she can fuck him for money. She can fuck me too. I mean, look at what happened to Bianca. Somebody offering her like to come and do like almost a porn shot because she was Eric Hugo's mistress. You know. So let me tell you, if you're outed, society would make sure you never forget it. Society will make sure that you never forget it. Society will never forgive you. They will forgive that man. They will reward him for coming back to the fold, for coming back to his family, for choosing his wife, for coming back to his wife. But you, nobody will forgive you. If your boyfriend brings you home and say, oh, this is the girl I want to marry, you'll say, Jesus, this one was stupid minister. My dear. God. So think about it. You have a lot more to lose than he does. You always have a lot more to lose than a man. You do. Even when sugar, like even in the case of sugar mommy and sugar boys, those sort of things, gigolos. If it's outed, the woman is shamed. The young man is not shamed. He's made to hail him. They say, boss. So now that woman, they will hail him. Everybody will hail him. Nobody will say, oh, you're not qualified for this job because you. But when it comes to a woman, they'll tell you you're not qualified because, well, first of all, Umuadas will disgrace you. The church, if you have any position in church, immediately are struck from it. Oh my goodness. As a woman, you have way more to lose already because society is not fair to women. It is the reality. It is the reality. I wish people would say, oh, well, they both have sin. For example, the woman with how many husbands? They came to Jesus. Jesus said, you all want to judge her. Okay, who has not sinned? Cast the first stone. And everybody walked away. That's society for you. None of them went to those men that she cheated with. Did they stone them? It was a woman that they wanted to stone. And they came to Jesus saying, this woman. Jesus said, okay, if you never seen before, true now. And everybody walked away. So as a woman, society is not fair. So you have to be careful. Okay? You have to be careful. Another thing is the power imbalance in these relationships. Because number one, the man is more powerful than you. He has way more money than you, more resources than you. So, look at what happened to Bianca. Right? The relationship got outed, it got public, and Bianca lost her sort of livelihood. Every job, even the new job that she got, people were still trying to block her because of something that happened how many years ago? Something that happened like a year ago. So the power imbalance is there. Now that man can mess you up, which was what they were trying to do. He was blocking her jobs, telling people not to hire her, telling people not to do business with her. If not that Bianca had an equally rich father. If Bianca was just an ordinary girl, for example, Alexandra, because he then moved on to another sugar babe. And that's the thing. That's why you don't fall in love with these men, because they move on. After they cut him, he moved on because that's his lifestyle. That's his lifestyle. Now let's imagine that this was Alexander. If you've read the book, you know Alexander, so go read the book. If this was Alexander did not come from a rich family. She comes from a very poor family. He would mess her up and nothing would happen. Even threatened her brother's business. If not that Bianca's father is equally rich and could match him power for power. So can you match this man power for power if he decides, oh, I want to fuck you up? Can you match him power for power? So the power imbalance is there. Already, these men, when you say no, they try to mess you up. You agree, then you say you don't want to again. They still try to mess you up. The power imbalance should make you pause. Think about it. If this man wants to deal with me today, what do I have that can match him power to power? Do you have a rich father? If you had a rich father, maybe you're doing it for companionship. What do you have that can match this man power to power? So think about that. There's also the coercion and manipulation. Oh my goodness. If you read this book, you're gonna see it. And you know, when I was reading this book and I was just seeing Eric, I was like, oh my god, Bianca, have you never had a boyfriend before? What the fuck is wrong with you? Then I realized Bianca was 21 years old. She was 21 years old. And that's why these men go for like really young women who are vulnerable. You're vulnerable. That's the thing. People always think, oh, I'm old enough. You are not old enough. Okay? Listen to me right now. You are not. You think you have sense. You can only make choices according to the knowledge that you have. You don't have enough knowledge to know about this. So listen to me. Listen to me before you make that choice. You're financially dependent on this man. You know what a lot of these men do? They'll make you so comfortable, you know, they send you monthly allowance, they fuel your car. I mean, you're doing good. The next thing he wants to travel, you cannot travel because you have a job. You have to go to your job. And he's like, oh, I'm paying you way more than your job now. Quit. Like, I'm paying you way more than your job. Quit. I mean, you're doing a job that's paying you 150 per month. This man gives you 500k every month. He has elevated your lifestyle. Okay? If before you were taking public transport, now you do only boats. Before you were doing boats, now you have a car of your own. You know, all this sort of thing. And he's like, why don't you quit your job? After I pay you. And to you, it's a source of income. You quit your job. So now, you are financially dependent on this man, actually. If you were not aware, be aware now that you are now financially dependent. So they can manipulate you into making these decisions that are not good for you. I mean, look at Bianca and Eric. They went out to a beach and there were some kids who came to the beach. Now they were hiding. Do you know that Bianca dislocated her legs because she jumped so that she would not be seen with Eric? Why didn't he jump? He's the older man. Why didn't he jump? Why do you have to be the one to jump? Girl. And then I was like, why is this girl? And then I saw that she was 21 years old. She had like 2 boyfriends prior to that time. And she just lost her mom. She was emotionally vulnerable. She was lonely. So it's easy to manipulate her. And he saw that. If you look at the patterns, he goes for girls who do not have people, they don't have friends. The same thing with Alexandra. Alexandra did not have friends. She only had a brother. Her mom had a lot of men, so you know their dad left them at 10. So you know, Alexandra too was also vulnerable. So you might be thinking, oh my God, I know what I'm doing. I'm wise. You're not as wise as that man, honey. That man has spent 52 years on earth against you 21 years old. Trust me, he knows way more than you know. Be humble. Be what? Be humble. Be humble. And some of these men, some of these sugar daddies, especially the way that I see it in Nigeria, they don't want you having boyfriends. You're just a mistress. You don't have your own. So please, let me give you an advice. If you're thinking about it, do not quit your job because of a man. Oh, he's taking care of me. Oh, I want to be a housewife. Let him open business for you. I'm giving you free advice now. You better be taking money for opening your own business. If you don't want to work, gather so that you can open your own business. Don't say, Olivier Sissé did not do any good thing for you. Open your own business. If you say, oh, I don't want you working, I don't say, okay, open business for me. Open. Have something. Please. Have something. Okay? It's very, very important. And then there's the emotional and psychological harm, in it. Look at how Bianca was messed up. Even Alexandra, I don't know what he did to them, but they genuinely loved him and they were fighting for him. They were like, oh, Eric could never do this. He was a corrupt politician, stealing money. And they were like, oh, Eric is such a good man. Honey, he's stealing money from poor people like you. He's not a good man. What the fuck are you talking about? He's not a good man. He's an African politician. None of them are good. Immediately. None of them. So they believed in him so much, like they liked this man. And I was like, please. please. I know. And I'm telling you, think about it. Always have your friends around you. Have people. Do not be isolated. Because one way that someone can, emotionally and psychologically harm you like that, if they isolate you. So now you have nobody aside them. Like for Bianca and Eric, she had him. Just him. She did not have her dad. Her mom was dead. She had no friends. Maybe if she had had friends, they would have told her, this guy is manipulative as hell. Take more money from him. Do like this. Let him set you up like this. Let him set you up like that. Because that guy didn't set her up. She was still walking. Bitch. Annoying. So please, I'm saying, if you want to get into this lifestyle, have friends. Please, very important. Have people that can have another voice outside of his. Because he's telling you what will benefit him. He's not going to advise you to leave him. No, he's telling you what will benefit him. So have friends and other advisors that can give you advice other than something beneficial to him, something that benefits you. So have that. Have that sort of thing. So yes, that's it. I think, so what do I think about it? Is it mutually beneficial? Is it exploitative? I think it depends on how you approach it. It depends on the resources that you have when you're going into these sort of relationships. So before women are so vulnerable. I tell you, we always think we're smart, but we're easy to use. You have to now begin to use your head. Use your head more. Because sometimes you're like, you said, I know what I'm doing. I'm a big girl. Are you? You have to arm yourself with this knowledge. Arm yourself properly. Please. Because some of these people even get so possessive. You're like, it's just going to be sex. Before you know what's happening, you say, I don't want to see you with another man. I don't want you talking to this. I don't like. Before you know it, there are now rules and regulations. So please, before you get into something that can actually properly damage your life, think about all the pros and cons. Think about it. Don't just think about the money. Don't just think about, what I can get. What about what you're giving in return? What about what you're losing? What you could lose. Yeah, what about what you could lose? I'm not talking about sex here. No, I'm not. You're fornicating anyways. You're fornicating with your boyfriend anyway. So if you're thinking, instead of fornicating for free, I could get some coin from it. I'm cool with you. But I'm saying, other than the sex, there are other things that you lose in these relationships. There are other things that you lose. Financial freedom, psychological battles, emotional, all those things. The power imbalance, the manipulation. You could be easily manipulated. I know you think I'm a big girl. I know what I want. My eyes are on the goal. My eyes on the bag. Maybe the bag is a distraction. He can give you the bag. He can't afford to give you the bag. But what are you actually giving in return? What are you giving in return? So yes, now, what are your thoughts on this, on being a sugar babe or being a sugar daddy? Let me know. Do you think that it is mutually beneficial, or do you think that it's exploitative? I've talked about the pros and cons, yeah, especially for the sugar babes. So let me hear from you. Do you think being a sugar babe is, it's something, sugar babe daddy relationship is something that's mutually beneficial, or do you think it's exploitative? I want to hear your opinion. So please leave your comments, send me messages. I'm everywhere on social media as Breanne so say. You can also send me an email. I will respond. Let me know. And if you have not read this book, The God of Good Looks, go get your copy. Don't say I didn't do nothing good for you. Go get your copy. Okay, guys, I love you all so much. Thank you so much. This is the first episode of Episodes Reads. Subscribe, please. Share this podcast with your friends. Recommend the podcast so that other people get to hear the good things that we have to say here. Okay, I love you all so much. Welcome to 2025. Goodbye until next time. I love you all.